80% of our value comes from our financial capability. And when I say 80%, that's not like some type of statistic I got from somewhere. It just came to my head at 80% because that's what I think is an opinion. But I think that's what the world thinks, you know? And when I say perceived value, it's not about what your opinion is. It's not about what you think. It's not your religious beliefs, it's not your religious beliefs or what's in the Bible. It's what the world believes. Us as men, 80% of our perceived value is financial, meaning that if we can't provide for ourselves, our family, and etc., that we're losers. And if we can provide for ourselves and our family and get the nice and finer things out of life or have some level of financial freedom, then we are perceived as valuable men. That's what the world sees us as, and that's where my statement actually came from, because I see it to be true today in 2021. Could it be true in 10 years, 15, 20 years, when the world gets smarter and believe and understand that it's more to life than just money, but there's other dimensions to men? Absolutely. But we're not having that statement on 10 years from now. We're having a statement on how you can be valuable today as a man in today's marketplace.
So what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. You know, a lot of times, men in this society, especially black men, let women define who they are. And that's the reason why there are so many problems in a relationship between black men and black women. But one of the most alarming things seems to be that the men who are the toughest with other men, the men who are the most gangster with other men, the men who are the most aggressive with other men, the men who are the most attack ready with other men, the men who are the most untrustworthy with other men, the men who are the most disloyal with other men, seem to be the weakest when it comes to women. Now, somebody sent me a video on IG of 21 Savage while he was working in the lab with J. Cole. And he said to J. Cole something that I've known for ever. Because growing up, I used to see how the most gangster guys in the world were cream puffs when it came to their women. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, when I was coming up, man, there was a guy who was well respected for being what we call a head buster. Reputation preceded him. And he called this old lady, man, and just checked on her and see where she was at. She snapped on that fool. I'm talking about, man, talk to that boy, man, like he was less than a child. Talk to that boy like he was an animal, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk to that boy like he was the scum of the earth, man. This is wife. And his response was, well, baby, baby, I was just concerned about you, baby. I didn't mean to make you mad, baby. I just, I love you, baby. And I just man, this was in front of everybody. And after that, man, I said, you know what, man? A lot of time these guys who are out in the street acting a fool, acting a donkey, cutting up, fighting and shooting all the time, these guys' issue, man, is that they have to get out in the world and let their manhood and masculinity breathe like that, because they have to suppress it when they're around their woman. And this is what 21 Savage is explaining to J. Cole in this video. So let's take a listen to this video, man, and we'll come back and chop it up on the real tip.
But that's the only weak spot I think I got is women, bro. Because, like, anything else, a gangster, nigga gonna stand up. But when it come to women, it be like, I think the toughest niggas is the softest niggas with women, bro. Just on some real shit.
Now, what you hear is simply a young man who's saying, man, I have not figured women out yet. I can get out here and get money. I can get out here and, I'll put it down, man. I'll lay you down, man. I ain't backing down from nobody. But women dominate me. Now, part of this is due to the fact that you either grew up without a father or your father was a cream puff who let your mother run him anyway. The reality of this scenario is that men are more concerned about being what women want them to be Men are more concerned about doing what women want them to do. Black men are the only men in society who let women dictate what gives them value. The only men. I know wealthy Asian men. I got some wealthy white partners, man. What you got to understand is that black men are the only wealthy men or only paid men that I've ever seen, man, who still believe that the women define them. It's almost like black men put the women before the money. They don't even get the power that comes with having the money, except for when they're dealing with other men. When they're dealing with other men, they'll talk all that, man. I put numbers on your head, man. I put 100 bands on your head, and blah blah blah, and I'll put a hit on you and make your homie do it. I'll do all of these things, man. But when it comes to women, they act like the money ain't power. Money is the most powerful when you embrace the power of it when it comes to dealing with women. You guys believe that having money just makes you available to women. All of a sudden, it makes you worthy of the women's presence. I'm going to be honest with you, man. That's a part of the simping that's trying to replace the pimping in this society, man. It's a beta male simp. It's a trick mindset to say that, oh, now I have money so I can access the woman. Oh, I have money so now I'm worthy of the woman. Oh, I have money, so now I can pay the woman enough and buy her enough things to make her like me. Because the bottom line is, if that's your mindset, the woman is going to always be in the situation of domination while you're in the position of submission. Men have to start understanding that even before you have money, that you are above women, because you live in a society that has given women a certain position or a certain ability to forego those necessary engagement principles. So what? The society changes. You don't let everything society does change you as a man. That's what women do. Women go along to get along with everything society says. Women change every year with what they like, what they don't like, what they'll do, what they won't do, what they'll say, what they won't say. What's important, what's not important. As men, we stand on principle. Principles are important to us throughout our lives. And a lot of time, these young guys are growing up, man, and some of these old heads too. They're growing up, they don't have any principles in their life because they don't have any men to teach them principles. And so they go about the world and still view the world as little boys, where the woman is in control. Anytime you view the world where women make the decisions about who you are and what you stand for, how valuable you are, you're like a little boy. And you view women as your mommy. There's a bunch of mama's boys out here, a bunch of them. So it seems like the popular outlook, yeah, it's the popular outlook, but it's not the right outlook. It's abnormal because other races of men that are based on patriarchy in their societies or in their communities, they do not view things the same way. They do not look at women and say, okay, women run the world. I must do what the woman wants me to do. Oh, hey, guess what? I'm worthy of you now. I made some money. That's not the reality of how this thing should be going, man. And you got a lot of men out here that believe that this is the way it should be. And you got a lot of men out here that are perpetuating to these young men that that's the way it should be. And so you got more simps being grown and groomed and just flooding the pimp principles out of the modern world, man, out of the square world. That's why I'm here. You have to apply pimp principles to the square world in order to have things the way you want to have them out here, man. Because if not, you're going to be just like this guy, wondering why you can't overcome women, why you can't master women. For one thing, you're too emotional. Anytime you believe that women are the defining factor in determining your value, then you're thinking like a female. That's how women think. Women let other women define their value. And here's the thing. If you let women define your value, you sure don't define theirs. In order for you to define their value, you first have to define your own. You don't know your value if women define your value because women can change with the weather. In the 70s, that pro-blackness. Now, the man who was about the struggle mattered more than anything. The beautiful black women didn't even care about the money at that point. They just wanted to be a part of something big. Now, you come here, women could care less about that. But here's the thing. As men, we don't function on what women want. The only men who function on what women want is men who didn't feel like men before they could get women. They validate their manhood by their ability to sleep with women. And I have never felt more like a man because I slept with a beautiful woman. Ever. I've never slept with a beautiful woman and said, oh, now I feel like more than a man now. That's just not the way it should go, man. Should we enjoy beautiful women? Of course we should. Of course we should. But when you're in a society where the women have, embraced the mindset of domination. If you're dealing with them from a position of submission, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And you're becoming less and less masculine when it comes to dealing with women. You got a bunch of these guys out here, man, that won't even tell a woman nothing about herself, man. That's why men are gravitating so much to Kevin Samuels' platform, because he's telling women what these men want to say to women. But my thing is, why the hell aren't you saying this to women? You mean tell me you guys are around here afraid to talk to women? And then the crazy thing is, these guys will promote game, talk to women in a slick way, in a smooth way that's not really honest. Tell her what you want her to hear so you can get her. Man, guys are promoting bowing down to women in every way. But the most egregious way is to let women define you. I've heard it said that the market determines your value. And that's a sad state to be in. Because don't nobody think that shit but black men. Don't nobody else think that. Other races of men, unless they listen to black men, nobody else thinks, man, the market determines your value. You're a man. You determine your value based on your principles and all that. And any woman who can't deal with that, you don't want her anyway. That's why so many guys get caught up with women that they end up not being with. Get caught up with women who divorce them or cheat on them or just leave them or use them. Because this is the same mindset that's been perpetuated for decades now. The woman determines your value. Man, that's crazy as hell. That don't make no sense, man. Ain't no woman determine my value. I determine her value. Women outnumber us 8-1. They ain't even got no options. And we around here talking about they determine our value. Man, that's crazy. I'm telling you, man, we live in a world where there are many men who are working on behalf of the evil entity that's attacking our manhood and masculinity. And they're doing it under the guise of being masculine. So what's really the problem in this society is fake masculinity. Looking masculine, sounding masculine, even acting masculine, but having feminine talking points. And there's no other talking point that's more feminine than we should be out here trying to impress these bras and pass their test and be considered valuable by them. Let me tell you something, brothers, and this real talk. From the time when I was broke to the time I started getting money, I didn't feel more valuable. I was always a valuable man because my value has never been based on women. And so you know what happened when I got to the money? And even now these days, I still don't look at money as what gives me value. And I don't care what a woman says. I don't care what a woman thinks. The problem in this society is you got too many simps caring about what women think. If you care about what a woman think, if you care about what a woman think, you damn sure can't tell her what to do. You cannot dominate a woman if you care too much about what she thinks. Because the more you care about what she thinks, the more you're going to try to go along to get along with the broad. And there's just too many men out here that are stuck in that mindset. They're going to go along to get along with the broad. They're going to do whatever they got to do to be on the broad good side. They're going to do whatever they got to do to make the broad believe that they're worthy of her presence. Man, come on, bro. We all know that there's a man who the woman begging to see. So how in the hell you going to try to be the man that finally convinces her that she need to drop that zero and get with this hero? The bottom line is you want her to drop a hero and get with a zero, because any man that panders to a woman that way, man, and does what she wants him to do and tries to become what she wants him to become, man, that boy is a female panderer, man. He's a zero. Why she's still chasing a hero who ain't got time for her? Because you know what the hero knows? The hero knows that regardless of what women say, regardless of what this society perpetuates, and regardless of what these men perpetuate, men are perpetuating the fact that women determine who gives you value. Women know they don't. That's why the women who want men who have money because they're making money, like Jess Hilarious, and I got a video coming up about Jess Hilarious later. You have to understand that men determine their own value. Based on what? Based on living by principles. Based on having integrity. You mean tell me if you let women convince you that your money is more valuable than your integrity, man, you're a damn fool. If you let women convince you, man, that your integrity, that money is more valuable than your honesty, you're a damn fool. Not because you believe that, but because you'll listen to anything women tell you and make an adjustment in your life to be what they want you to be. And I'm going to be honest with you. The more I start to interact with other men who get money from other nationalities, I just realize how weak black men are when it comes to women. Everything about our view toward women is weak. Everything. From the way we always blame women for our issues, to the way we then turn around and let those same women that we blame for messing up our community dictate to us what the hell gives us value. Dumbest thing I ever heard, man. Listen, brothers. You determine your value internally. And since these scallywags don't know you internally, how are you going to let them tell you that no, your external value outweighs your internal value when your internal value is what got you to your external value in the first damn place? Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.